Hey everybody, it's Jason, and welcome back to my channel. So I got something a little bit different today. This is an EZGO golf cart. It belongs to a lumber yard that I'm associated with, and it has got some suspension issues. So I have agreed to bring the thing into the operating room and go over it with a fine-tooth comb, fix what needs to be fixed. They've got a short list of modifications they'd like, and then we're going to get her back in service. So it's going to be interesting. It's a little bit rough, but actually it's not that bad. It's been used, but really I don't think it's been abused. It's just kind of chose a difficult lot in life, that's all. All right, let's get her in the shop. I've got the tires off. One thing about these tires, they're foam filled. I mean, in a lumber yard, you got nails and spike, all kinds of stuff to deal with, honestly. Nails, spikes, all this kind of thing. And they probably weigh about 100 pounds each. They look all right. You know, a little bit of chew up from this rear spring giving way, but you know, these tires are good for a couple more years, I'd say. Got the cart cinder blocks with a couple of 2x4s to support it all the way around. The back here I've got a couple of jack stands underneath it, and I've got the rear axle supported because I have to take the springs off, and as soon as I take the springs off, that axle's going to want to drop, and I haven't got it completely disconnected, so we'll just jack it up so that it's safe. Next thing I'm going to do is take a look at these springs. Yeah, so there's not a lot of doubt about what's going on here. So this is broken off. That should line up with this down here. Obviously it doesn't. Looks like they've tried to repair it, weld the two springs together when one broke, and the other one I guess just couldn't take the stress and it broke. So that's going to need replacing. While I'm down here, I'll check the shock and I'll also check the brakes. But the other side looks fine, no issues at all. But you buy the springs in pairs, so I'm going to order up a set and we'll replace those and everything should be a lot better then. So the reason I have to get in here is because I have to take some of these plates off to get to the top of the suspension, top of the shocks. Plus I just want to look this whole cart over from top to bottom, make sure everything's okay. So I'm going to strip her right down, see what's going on. Took that inspection plate off and I can see point of that. So there's my DC motor, which is rather significant, and then there is access to the top of these shock absorbers, which is what I was looking for more than anything. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see inside here. Like I say, this thing's kind of had a bit of a life, so I would like to look everything over, make sure that everything's solid. You know, like why is there, say, this wire right here that's not leading anywhere? I'd like to look into all of that stuff. You know, make sure it's safe, make sure it's not going to catch on fire and all that kind of thing. I'm always amazed just how solid this thing is made, to be completely honest with you. I guess they, you know, take a bit of abuse on the golf course, so they should be made well. And this one's a little older, made in the 90s, so back then things were just made better, I think. Anyway, looking good. Alright, I'm hoping these things come off relatively easily. They've been on there a long time. Let's just take... Ah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, you know things are getting serious when you got to get the pipe wrench out, right? Real messy. real messy. All right, so there's also a little plastic piece that was in here covering things up. Took one little screw out, it moved out of the way, and now I have clear access to the top of the shock. A little bit of work to get there, but you know, whatever. You don't have to change them every day, right? All right, last thing I want to do is take a look at these brakes. You know, they seem to be in pretty good shape. If I put the parking brake on, this cart doesn't move. So I'm kind of optimistic that they'll be in good shape. But one never knows. Right on. Interesting thing about this cart is it's all imperial, you know, 15th, 16th, and all that kind of thing. I'm used to metric when I'm working on the Japanese bikes. Okay. A fair bit of life left in that, actually. You know, not too bad at all. So maybe I'll just give these a clean out and check the other side, but I think those would be all right. Well, that's as far as I can go on the rear, so time to switch around and check out the front. Pretty simple system here. Just like the back, we've got a shock and we've got a set of leaf springs. So we'll take a look, pull the shocks out, see what they look like, and see what those leaf springs look like. From what I can tell, though, they seem to be okay, but I won't know until I get in there. Signs of the front tire rubbing against the body. The tires on this thing are a little bit bigger than stock, so see here that they've put a hockey puck in there to take it up about an inch. And okay, well, the level of difficulty on this front shock is definitely higher than the rears. Got my little ratchet here, 9/16, and I tuck my hand way up here, put it on the nut. There we go. And then turn it, and look, the whole shock turns. So I gotta hold on to it. There we go. Luckily, it's protected up there, and the threads aren't full of garbage. Hopefully, anyway. What a pain in the butt this is. Ugh. Let's see. Hopefully we can get the impact on the bottom of this. Would make things so much easier. Oh boy, that's close. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, look how much this has leaked. Definitely got to replace that one. Let's take a look at this side now. And oh, this is interesting. Very interesting. So there's the other shock, but here's it's a 2x4 jammed in there, taking up some slack. Some kind of fix. I don't know what the problem was, but that's the fix. This top 10 job right here. I think Mike Rowe would be proud of me, man. This is definitely a dirty job, but it's done. The hard part's done. Next thing needs doing is to remove this remaining light. It doesn't work. I see that one of the wires broke off the ground wires. These are rusted up pretty bad. Very carefully give this a snip.
Just a quick note at the time of editing. It turns out that the switch in the cart had a dead short in it, which was blowing fuses. And then I did a quick inspection of the wiring leading from the back to the front, and I found that it was kind of spliced and spliced and spliced, and I ended up just rerunning the entire thing with brand new cable. These batteries are now 7 years old, and I suspect they will probably need replacing in the next year or two. So when I do that, I will make you another video and I'll go through all the electrical stuff. But for now, let's just stick to the suspension.
Here's what we got to replace. Got the rear springs, the rear shocks, and the front shocks. The front springs look to be intact and okay. Now I'm sure they're a little bit tired, so I might just look them up, see what they cost. If they're fairly cheap, I'll replace them too. But if they're not, they're probably going to be okay, especially if I put a new set of shocks on. We'll see what's available. Maybe I can get a heavier duty set of shocks that will take up some of the play if they are getting weak. But yeah, that's not too bad actually. Something I want to look into just before I get too far, and it's pretty easy really, is these front wheel bearings. Like, they seem okay, but there is, hear that? Just a little bit of play in there. So I want to pop off this end cap. I want to see if it's greased, and see if there's any way I can just give that a little tweak and just tighten that up just a little bit. Yep. Just a wee bit of play, but look at this this nut, this castellated nut. It could be tightened a little bit, so I just pull out that pin. Let's see if I can turn that. Oh yeah. Well, since we're here, we might as well take a look at the bearings. Give them probably need a little grease pack. Wouldn't hurt anyway. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. plop in a little bit more grease, just to be safe. A little fresh grease. Pack it right into the bearing. Pack it right in. There's an inner seal. Seems to be in good shape. It's not leaking the axle anyway, so I'll just slide that baby right back on. And then put that back in. So. Around. Yeah, that feels great. Little bit of a load on it, but that'll fix itself in no time. Better to be a little bit tight than too loose. You don't want it slapping around in there. That's not too tight. It's been a few days, but all the parts are finally in. I ordered up a new set of springs, obviously, because of the broken one, and a new set of shocks, because those other ones have absolutely no life left in them at all. Of note here is that the new springs are 4-leafed, and the old ones were only 3. So that should give us a little bit more spring. Plus, these old ones are probably 25, 30 years old, so they're tired and obviously broken. And the shocks are the same. I didn't make any changes there. Shocks in the way. Okay, so this is interesting. This is as far down as the shock will go, okay? It'll go up, but it can't go down anymore. It's at full travel. So the cart has absolutely no weight on it. The wheels have no weight on it. So I suspect when I put weight on it, it will push up and it'll take up that slack. If I end up having to raise it, that would become an issue. So these shocks actually come with a raising, adapter. So if necessary, I can put it in like that and raise it. Okay. Sorry, and then this rubber thing would go in the bottom here, not on the top, but you get the idea. So what I want to do is I want to get everything put back together, and then I will put it down on the ground, put the weight on it, and see where everything is if I want to raise it, or possibly even lower it, but I doubt it. Then I've got the option with these little adapters. These are the new shocks, or I guess they're struts when they've got coils on them like that, coilovers. So the springs on the inside of the cart, the leaf springs, I couldn't seem to find them anywhere online, or not easily anyway. But what they've done is replace these them with these coil-over types, which makes a lot of sense actually. So I'm going to leave those springs in, and I'm going to put these coilovers on. You can see the old ones didn't have it, and I'm hoping that that also will help me raise the cart just a little bit. Decided I have to put these lift extenders on the front struts. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. It's a lot of tension. It's a lot of multiple hand kind of gotta do this, gotta do that. But I'm gonna get it because it kills me. It might. Okay, so I got that lined up. I gotta just put, oh yeah, I gotta tighten that down and then I gotta flip. There we go. Now I just gotta do the other side. I'm not gonna show you that though, because I might swear. Here's an idea of what I'm talking about. So the shock goes up, mounts at the top normally, comes down, and then that little extender there just gives it another 2 inches. And I think I need that up front here because these tires are dangerously close to rubbing, and well, I don't like that. All right, we got her back down on the ground. Everything looks to be okay. Definitely sitting a lot higher. Just going to make sure that the clearances are okay as I turn the wheels and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty happy that we've gained a little bit of height. You know, it was a lot tighter than that before, believe me. So those front coilovers did a nice job of bringing it up. We'll just give her a, oh yeah, it's nice and tight too. Awesome. Let's take a look at the back. Everything looks really good back here too. We've picked up a lot of space. You could, you know, well, you can tell where it was rubbing into the edge here. Mind you, it was a broken spring, but it's picked up a lot of height, which is good. Keep in mind too that it's completely unloaded at the moment. I haven't got the bed on or the roof or anything like that, so I'd imagine it's going to come down a little bit. But this thing does take some pretty good loads. Let's give her a little. Oh yeah, that's nice, stiff, cool. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot better. Got a couple more years left in it, that's for sure. All right, what I'm going to do now is just go around. I have to tighten everything up and put it all back together. Flip the lights back onto it. I got a brand new set of lights for it. And then I'm going to wheel it outside and take a look at the stance, take it for a little test drive, and she's good to go home. All right, there she sits. Looking really good. The heights are really nice. I didn't have to adjust anything, so I'm quite happy about that. Or the adjustments I made were very, very minimal and very, very easy. So yeah, she seems to be driving nice. Very good. So